It is 7 o'clock. Welcome to the Pennsylvania County Planning Commission regular meeting, Tuesday, August 4th, 2026. Please call the roll.
Mr. Oakes?
Here.
Mr. Dalton? Ms. Meese?
Here.
Mr. Webb?
Here.
Ms. Henderson?
Here.
Mr. Shelton? Mr. Bartz?
Here.
Mr. Ferris?
Here. If you would, everyone join me in a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Item number 5 on the agenda, hearing of the citizens. Each person addressing the board under hearing of the citizens shall be a resident or land owner of the county or a registered agent of such resident or land owner. Each person shall step up, give his or her name and district in an audible tone of voice for the record, and unless further time is granted by the chairman, shall limit his or her address to 3 minutes. No person shall be permitted to address the board more than once during the hearing of the citizens. All remarks shall be addressed to the board as a body and not to any individual member thereof. Hearing of the citizens shall last for a maximum of 45 minutes. Any individual that is signed up to speak during said section who does not get the opportunity to do so because of the aforementioned time limit shall be given speaking priority at the next board meeting. Absent chairman's approval, no person shall be able to speak who has not signed up. Has anyone signed up?
No, sir.
Is there anyone who would like to address the commission that on an item that is not listed on the agenda? Seeing none, we'll move to item number 6, approval of the agenda. Do I have a motion for the approval of the agenda?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we approve the agenda.
I have a first. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Mr. Barks. Are there any other questions, comments, or motions? Please cast your vote.
Ms. Ferris?
The agenda is approved 6-0. Moving on to item number 7, approval of the minutes. Mr. Oakes.
Mr. Chairman, I got one correction. On Mrs. James Event Center, in her hardship case, she maintained as a 140-year-old ancestral forest with exceptional environmental features. And in the past, this is cutover land, and I made the comment this was cutover land, and it was clean cut. And if there was any 140-year-old trees around, I missed them. And I think she got here about 120 years too soon. But since she put it in the paper, I want to make it clear that this was cutover land at times, and there's no 140-year-old trees on the property.
Okay, I mean, whether or not, I guess if she stated it, it's not an item to be amended in the minutes,
And-
other than the fact that you said it was cut over. Was that omitted in the minutes?
It just said it was clear and it was 40-year-old trees instead of 140-year-old trees as she was claiming.
Right, well, I understand as far as correcting what you said, but if she said it, I don't think we can correct the record.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes with this one correction
From your comments.
from my comments.
Okay. We have a first. Is there a second?
I second.
Are there any other questions, concerns, or comments? Motions? Please cast your vote. Minutes are approved 6-0 with the one correction. Moving to the chairman's report. As I stated the last couple of months, if you haven't done so, please visit the county website and fill out the survey for the comprehensive plan update for 2046. It's important. It's never too late to do it until we've actually approved it and put it in place. So if you get an opportunity, please do that. We'll move to item number 9, public hearing. Pursuant to Article 5, Division 7 of the Pennsylvania County Zoning Ordinance, we, the Planning Commission, have been empowered to hear and decide specific applications in support of said ordinance and to make recommendations to the Board of Supervisors or the Board of Zoning Appeals. In accomplishing this important task, we are charged with the promoting of the health, safety, and general welfare of the citizens of Pennsylvania County. We must ensure that all our decisions and recommendations be directed to these goals and that each be consistent with the environment, the comprehensive plan, and in the best interest of Pennsylvania County, its citizens, and its posterity. Anyone here to speak to the board regarding zoning cases will be limited to 3 minutes. It is now 7:07. Case R-26-029 is now open. Ms. Smith.
Thank you. Harvey West Jones and Jerry Haymore request rezoning from R1 to A1 for property located on Gap Road in the Callens-Gretna election district to allow agricultural uses. Contingent upon approval to rezoning to A1, they intend to apply for a special use permit to have an antique store on the property. Staff recommends approval as submitted, and the application packet and staff summary are included in your agenda packet.
Is either Mr. Jones or Mr. Haymore here? Would you like anything you need to add?
No, sir, there's nothing I need to add, just that we just realized we were residential, so we went to get the permit.
Does any of my fellow commissioner have any questions? Thank you. Has anyone signed up to speak to this case?
No, sir.
It is now 7:08. Public hearing for case R-26-029 is now closed. Ms. Meese.
Mr. Chairman, I've had no opposition. I'm glad to see business on Route 40 West. I appreciate your coming to our community. So therefore, in case R-26-029, I'll make a recommendation that we honor this request.
The chair has the first. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you for the second. Are there any other motions, questions, or comments? Seeing none, please cast your vote. Case passes 6-0. It is now 7:09. Public hearing for case R-26-030 is now open. Ms. Smith.
Yes, Teresa Dickerson Gaither requests a rezoning from R1 to A1 for property located on Cross Ditch Road, State Road 703, in the Tunstall Election District to allow agricultural uses. The application and the staff summary are included in your agenda packet. Staff recommends approval as submitted.
Is Ms. Dickerson Gaither here? Is there anything you'd like to add to what she's submitted? Are there any questions for her from my fellow commissioners? Thank you. Has anyone signed to speak to this case?
No, sir.
It is now 7:10. Public hearing for case R-26-030 is now closed. Mr. Oakes.
Mr. Chairman, in case R-26-030, I recommend that we change its zoning from R1 to A1.
The chair has the first. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Barks. Are there any other motions, questions, comments, concerns? Seeing none, please cast your vote. Motion passes 6-0. It is now 7:11. Case R-26-031 is now open. Ms. Smith.
Larry Burnett is requesting a rezoning from R1 to A1 for property located on Milton Highway, State Road 62, in the Dan River Election District to allow agricultural uses. Contingent upon approval to rezone to A1, the applicant intends to apply for a special use permit for an RV park, which is a public campground. Staff recommends approval as submitted. The application and the staff summary are included in your agenda packet, and Mr. Burnett is here to represent the petition.
Mr. Burnett, is there anything you need to add to what you've submitted?
No, everything seems fine. Y'all got any questions for me, I'm here to answer.
Well, the rezoning issue, I have no questions. I might when we get down to the special use permit, but does anyone else have any questions for him? Thank you. Has anyone signed up to speak to this case?
No, sir.
It is now 7:12. Case, the hearing for case R-26-031 is now closed. Mr. Barks.
Mr. Chairman, with case R-26-031, I would recommend rezoning R1 to the A1 for Mr. Burnett.
Chair has first. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Ms. Henderson. Are there any other motions, questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none, please cast your vote. Motion passes 6-0-1 abstention. It is now 7:13. Case R-26-032 is now open. Ms. Smith.
Biddy Swank and Chapin Watkins request a rezoning from R1 to A1 for property located on Old Richmond Road, 360, in the Dan River Election District to allow agricultural uses. The application and staff summary are included in your agenda packet, and staff recommends approval as submitted.
Is Ms. Swank or Watkins here? Anything you need to add? Does anyone have any questions for her? Thank you. Has anyone signed up to speak to this case?
No, sir.
It is now 7:13. Public hearing for case R-26-032 is now closed. Mr. Barks.
Mr. Chairman, in case R-26-032, I would recommend rezoning from R1 to A1.
Chair has first. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you, Mr. Oakes. Any other motions, questions, comments, concerns? Seeing none, please cast your vote. Motion passes 7-0. It's now 7:14. The public hearing for case R-26-033 is now open. Ms. Smith.
James Hicks and Carissa Hicks request a rezoning from R1 to A1 for property located on US Highway 29 in the Stanton River Election District to allow for agricultural uses. The application packet and staff summary are included in your board agenda packet, and staff recommends approval as submitted.
Are the Hickses here? Anything you need to add to what you've submitted? Does any of my fellow commissioners have any questions for them? Thank you. Has anyone signed up to speak to this case?
No, sir.
It is now 7:15. The public hearing for case R-26-033 is now closed. Mr. Ferris.
Mr. Chairman, case R 26033, I recommend approval as submitted.
We have a first. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Are there any other motions, questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none, please cast your vote. Motion passes 7-0. It's now 7:15. Public hearing for case R-26-034 is now open. Ms. Smith.
Angela Shelton requests a rezoning from double-zoned R1 and A1 to A1 for property located on East Gretna Road, State Road 40, in the Stanton River Election District to allow agricultural uses. The application and staff summary are included in the agenda packet, and staff recommends approval as submitted.
Ms. Shelton, anything you'd like to add to what's in your packet? Anyone have any questions for Ms. Shelton? Thank you. Has anyone signed up to speak to this case?
No, sir.
It's now 7:16. Public hearing for case R-26-034 is now closed. Mr. Ferris.
Mr. Chairman, case R 26034, I recommend approval as submitted.
Chair has the first. Is there a second?
I second.
Thank you, Mr. Barks. Any other motions, questions, or comments, concerns? Seeing none, please cast your vote. Motion passes 7-0. Excuse me. It's now 7:17. Public hearing for case R-26-035 is now open. Ms. Smith.
Sarah and James Thompson request a rezoning from R1 to B1 for property located on Carter Drive in the Westover Election District to allow for commercial use. Since the agenda was published, the Thompsons have submitted a proffer statement. They are requesting to add a proffer that would limit the permitted uses within the B1 zoning district for this property to the following: accessory uses, adult daycare centers, apartments in the same building with businesses, which is upstairs apartments, retail bakery, barber and beauty shops, caterers, conservation areas, public and private, craft shops, garages, private for the storage of personal vehicles, private gardens, home or apartment combinations in the same building with business, home occupations Class A and Class B, libraries, manses, which are church-owned dwelling units, non-emergency medical transport, offices and professional offices, off-street parking, parks, playgrounds, security man's house, and signs.
Okay, that pretty much covers the concerns I had initially.
And the Thompsons are here to answer any additional questions.
Anything you'd like to add? Does anyone have any questions? Thank you. I appreciate you offering up the proffers. Anyone signed up to speak to this case?
No, sir.
It's now 7:19. The public hearing for case R-26-035 is now closed. I normally don't make my own motions, but in this case, as it relates to case R-26-035, I make a motion that we approve the rezoning from R1 to B1 with the proffers that were offered and stated earlier. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Mr. Oakes. Any other motions, questions, or comments, concerns? Seeing none, please cast your vote. Motion carries 7-0. It's now 7:20. Public hearing for case S-26-022 is now open. Ms. Smith.
Final Structures LLC, on behalf of Five Stars LLC, is requesting a special use permit for outdoor display in accordance with Section 35-366 of the Pittsylvania County Zoning Ordinance for property located on West Gretna Road in the Callens-Gretna Election District. Staff recommends approval with the conditions outlined in the staff summary, and the application and staff summary are in your agenda packet.
Is there anyone here? Anything you need to add to what you've submitted? Any questions? Thank you. Anyone signed up to speak to this case?
Roy Parker.
My name is Roy Parker. I come to represent the Living Trust Fund for the Parker Estate. We are concerned about the request for a special permit because we've been adjoining landowners for 48 years with the property presently being zoned as commercial. There have been many businesses gone and come and have come, and there's been no problems whatsoever over the years. We need some clarifications as to what this special permit is all about, because joining the property on the west side and on the east side are two residential properties being resided by elderly people with medical conditions. That's our concern. Not that we won't hold back any progress at all, because we've been there 48 years and we've had good joining landowners, but we would need some clarification. We would need some understanding what this permit will be all about, other than the storage buildings. And I ask each of you, how would you like to walk out your front door and you see a storage building in front of you? Because that's what it amounts to. We're concerned about the light functioning, the noise functioning with these two elderly residents that are there. The adjoining property is on the west side and on the east side of the requested permit. And so therefore, we're at a point that we need some more clarification as to what this all is about, because it's zoned already as commercial. And does the permit allow it to be just this company? What about when it's changed hands? Is the owner of this property asking for permit, or is it the leasees asking for permit? We just would like some clarification. Thank you very much.
Anyone else?
No, sir.
Would you like to address any of his concerns, sir? Please state your name.
My name is Andy Kruth, and I'm here to represent True Point Backyard Buildings and Vinyl Structures. So our intention for requesting the special use permit was to allow for the placement of several storage buildings on the property, which is not currently allowed with the zoning as it sits. So connected with the office.
Please speak up a little bit.
I'm sorry, yeah, if I lean in, it works, yeah. We're requesting the special use permit because it's currently zoned business, but does not allow the specific use case that we were looking for. So in connecting with the county, we've understood it requires this forum in order to discuss and get it approved. And our business is pretty subtle. Yes, we will put storage buildings on the property. You guys should have a map in your packet that shows kind of the arrangement. But those buildings would be well within the confines of the property, and there's tree lines on any of the sides that are residential. The exposed sides are both the main roads, one that is a side street between us and that gas station, and one is the main road across, from the other gas station. So I don't necessarily believe that somebody would walk out their door and see these. You would have to be in transit somewhere or going to one of these other businesses to see our product on display. We are typically lower volume. We see 2 to 3 clients per day on a good day. So it's not like we have a lot of people coming and going. It's pretty subtle. We do have some trucks delivering buildings, but that's, a little bit more in the beginning. And then as it goes out, you have maybe 1 or 2 deliveries within a week. And those are all during normal business hours. And we would operate, on 5 days a week, 8-hour days, most in line with normal business hours, but we do flex them based on what the opportunity is, whether we open early Saturday or we stay open late Saturday. That kind of depends on our success in the market. So as for interrupting the area around us, I don't perceive a lot of lighting changes or noise or anything really of that nature in the traffic that we would generate. I would love it to be a lot, but typically it's 2 to 3 customers a day is what we would see.
Will the property be lighted at night?
Any lights would be attached to the building, and we're not planning on any large upgrades for lighting.
Okay.
So there may be a couple of motion lights around the building for security purposes, but we're not intending to light up the parking lot now.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions?
So you are surrounded, Mr. Chairman, so you're surrounded by other businesses?
Yes, ma'am. Of that service similar
Yes.
clientele, 2 gas stations, and then across the highway there's some other businesses as
I
well.
know the lot well.
Yeah.
And it would be well lit?
Well, we're not going to add a bunch of lighting to the parking lot, but we'll be sure that there's light for a car that would come in at night or something by chance that they can see around and be able to, traverse the parking lot safely. But we do not intend to put up large lamp posts or anything like that.
So the way these storage buildings work, they have a code that they come to their own individual storage unit?
These are actually for retail sale. So they're, you drive by and see sheds on the side of the road for sale. That's the sort of business it is.
Okay.
And all of ours are made right here in Chatham. So it's local business, and we're trying to hire local and all that fun stuff as well. But they're not for customers to store things and come to us. They purchase the building and we deliver it to their property. So it's their property after that.
Okay, and you're open again from Monday through Friday?
It will be 8 5-hour days, 5 8-hour days, but we do typically vary that a little. We will always be closed on Sundays, and we usually work a partial day on Saturday and 4 full days during the week.
Okay, that's all I have.
All right. And one of the requirements is no assembly on site.
Excuse me?
No assembly of the storage sheds on site.
We don't assemble there, no, sir. They're built there in Chatham and brought up to us there for delivery.
Okay. Anyone else? Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else sign up?
No, sir.
It's now 7:27. Public hearing for case S-26-022 is now closed. Ms. Meese.
Mr. Chairman, I don't see any reason why we should not approve it. There are all other businesses around him that these people probably have lived there for many years, and apparently those businesses do not affect them. So in case S-26-022, make a recommendation that we recommend to the Board of Supervisors that the special use permit be approved.
You mean Board of Zoning Appeals?
Excuse me, Board of Zoning. Excuse me, yes.
No problem. All right, the chair has the first. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Ms. Henderson. Are
Mr.
there any other?
Chairman, can I clarify, Ms. Meese, that your motion included the conditions recommended by staff?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Henderson, you second with the conditions in.
Yes, I second with
All right.
conditions.
Are there any other motions, questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none, please cast your vote. Motion passes 7-0. It is now 7:29. Public hearing for case S-26-023 is now open. Ms. Smith.
Rock Solid Hardscapes LLC requests a special use permit for an expansion of special use permit S-20-001 in accordance with Pennsylvania County Zoning Ordinance Section 35-714 for property located on Huntington Trail in the Tunstall Election District. The application packet and the staff summary are included in your board packet. The staff recommends approval with conditions outlined in the staff summary. And I know that Mr. Lewis with Rock Solid Hardscapes and his attorney are here to present the petition.
Mr. Lewis.
Good evening, Commissioners. My name is Cabell Barrow. I am here with Bert Lewis on behalf of Rock Solid Hardscapes in support of this request for an expansion of the special use permit previously granted in 2020. We've prepared some materials tonight to just give everyone kind of an overview of the project as it is currently operating. And this is indeed a recreational vehicle campsite, campground, currently approved for 36 campsites. The application tonight contemplates two different phases of expansion. The first being an expansion allowing for 60 additional campsites, and then room for future expansion if needed, which is not currently planned, up to 132, I believe, additional campsites. And again, the current plan is to add on 60 with some additional leeway or wiggle room should we need it in the future. This all tonight was necessitated. We did a review of Mrs. Smith's departmental interpretation of the existing special use permit before the BZA, and it was interpreted to that initial special use permit was ultimately interpreted to include only the 36 that were included in the initial site plan. So we're seeking currently an expansion for 60 spots with up to an additional 130 after that. 136, excuse me, just for room to grow in the future and to avoid any delay should that plan come to fruition. We have reviewed the staff recommendation, and I just want to bring one thing to Mrs. Smith's attention that I think is deserving of note. In condition number 6, internal roads shall be constructed to support two-way traffic and emergency vehicle access. The site plan has been very intentionally designed, and compliance with VDOT has since our application for the expansion tonight seen compliance with additional VDOT measures for expansion of the entrance and expansion of the entrance roadways. But however, once you get into the RV park itself, the roads are laid out, and you may be able to see this. I don't know if our... Okay, let's see. And this is a nice view from the roadway. But if you look here on this site plan that we recently submitted, the roads are designed in a circular pattern. So once you get into the internal portion of the project, the roads are designed so that on each individual roadway you pull in straight and then you back your camper in directly. There is sufficient road width for two vehicles to pass, but the roads are not designed for two-way traffic. You pull in and then you pull out a different way. It's not a cul-de-sac or anything like that. There is two-way traffic capability, but the roads themselves are not designed for two-way traffic, and all of that will be made abundantly clear if this expansion permit is granted with adequate signage to direct everyone throughout the park. Aside from that, the applicant is in agreement with the other conditions, many of which are already underway or have been complied with to date. And we'll take any questions as well.
Okay, just one quick one from me. Ms. Smith?
Yes.
His addressing number 6, does that address your concern?
Yeah, I don't see any issues with that. My only concern would be maybe if public safety has any concerns when they do review the site development plan as far as emergency access, but I don't have any issues with taking out that two-way traffic requirement, that any public safety concerns would be addressed in the site development plan requirement.
Thank you.
I think that
Absolutely, and I think that that would probably be encompassed in one of the other conditions. And the applicant is, fully willing to work with Mrs. Smith's department and her consultants in fleshing all of that out as the needs arise.
Okay. Anyone else have any questions?
I've got a comment. I visited over there twice. I was very impressed with what you are doing. The roads are wide enough. It was very clean. He's got a place for the children to have a playground. He's got swings and sawhorses, and it's a nice area. He's working on a building, bathrooms in it, showers, wash and dryer, and it was no trash around. He had a big sign up front stating all the rules and regulations, and he's got it going on, and I was very impressed with it.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to say I appreciate you expanding because of all the growth that's coming in the future for Danville and Pittsylvania County. We're going to need somewhere for someone to stay. So I appreciate you investing to making us grow.
Anyone else? Thank you. Has anyone signed up to speak to this case?
Yes, sir. Dillard Jones.
I'm Dillard Jones. I live on 3461 Oak Hill Road, which is approximately 2.25 miles from the RV park. I pass it daily, and everything I have seen on the park has been positive. I drove through it. I don't see any trash, as was mentioned. I did not see any vehicles that are inoperable on this site. It seems like a well-run company, and it looks like, it's, from my opinion, he's doing a great job in running this. It's always very clean. I've never seen anything that would be detrimental to good business. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Yes, sir. Larry Estes.
Young lady, I like your comments.
Thank you.
I've known Mr. Barrett for 50 years. He never cuts in the corners of what he does. He's doing a wonderful thing. I own a campground, just a small campground over in the Brownsville community. The pipeline has got property leased behind the Brownsville sun over there. I rode over there the other morning, and if it was one truck in that lot, it was 500. And everybody is wanting to be around Brownsville because they get up, go to the safety meeting every morning at 6:30, and then disperse out to Chatham or wherever they're working. And if we get this expansion like we're hoping to, we're going to see more dollars coming into the Pittsylvania County, groceries, gas, convenience store business, the little restaurants that we have there. It's all encouraging, and I really thank Bert for doing this. Even though I'm small, hey, I get calls every day. We need a camp spot. We need a camp spot. And I'm sure his phone's ringing off of the hook too.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
No, sir.
Mr. Chairman, I'd just
Yes,
like to add a comment to what he just said. Several years ago, the pipeline people came through my area, my community, Sandy Level near the lake. And what I heard was there were 500 people that needed somewhere for lodging. And the nearest motels were Gretna and Franklin County, Rocky Mount. And they were charging them like 150, 200 a night. So those men were desperate for somewhere to stay. And so I had some rental property, and I rented it to them. You couldn't ask for better people. I guess it's just the pipeline people, transport people that you're a little hesitant to rent from them, but they love the campground. So I'm all for this.
Mr. Chairman, it
Yes.
appears there's an individual that did not sign up that would like to speak.
Okay, please come forward and state your name and district.
My name is Patty. I actually live at the property that's beside the campground, and I will say it is clean, and he does a wonderful job. I haven't had any problems with any of the campers that are in that location. It is my concern, not the roads that actually go into the campground. It's Huntington Trail itself, as far as the width and the maintenance of that road. It is not wide enough for two vehicles to pass. Not even if it's a truck, like one of the newer models with the mirrors sticking way out, that becomes a problem. When you're passing a vehicle that has a camper on the back, it's even larger. And so the traffic that would pass, it's not wide enough to sustain that. That road was not built to sustain that heavy traffic of flow. Also, the water is a concern for the community within the neighbors itself. I know a lot of people, we rely on well water on that. I don't know how many wells are around that location. I don't know if he has his own well to sustain all those campers, but I know that a couple other people on that road have already they have no well water. It's been drained. I don't know if that actually has anything to do with his property, but that is a concern of the rest of the citizens that live on that street. I was against the very beginning of this. I understand I'm not one to reject growth, because growth is good. It helps build the community. However, I don't want 136 sites in my backyard. I hear all the noise. I hear everything that's going on out there. It's like if they're talking in their backyard and there are trees to separate us from them, it's like they're directly in my backyard talking to me. It's extremely loud when they do that. And they're not, it's not like they're doing it intentionally. It just travels. I just know, and it's statistically proven, the more population you have, the more room there is for problems, the more room there is for disturbances. And I just don't care to have that in my backyard. I appreciate the growth he's done already and the fact that it's clean and it's well taken care of, and I haven't had any issues with any people that are there per se. And I know it does need to grow, but not 136 sites. I just think that's too many in a small community area. I appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who did not sign up who would like to speak to this case? Come forward, sir, and state your name and district.
My name is Will Sawyers. I live on 620 Huntington Trail, about 1 mile from the RV park. The road is in bad shape, but it didn't happen with RVs. It happened when they were clear cutting the mountains for the mega park. The big log trucks, they damaged the road. So, I just listen to what goes on. I just want to make sure that we're talking apples to apples. The road was damaged before they ever started that. And the campers are not coming and going, passing one of them. So, you know, they pull in, they set up, and they're there. And the noise, there's noise from Mountain Run Road when they have a party over there, and I'm 2 miles from that, and I can hear it right there in the yard, but I've never heard anything from the RV park. I just wanted to clear up some stuff. I'd been listening to all the meetings, and they're doing a good job, but the road is in rough shape but it happened before he started doing anything there. It was log trucks every day. Now it's big trucks hauling equipment in for the pipeline, but just wanted to say that.
Thank you, sir. Is there anyone else who would like to speak to this case? Seeing no one, it is now 7:45. The public hearing for case S-26-023 is now closed. Mr. Oaks.
Mr. Chairman, in case S-26-023, I recommend that we expand the special use permit in accordance with conditions by staff.
With the amended condition number 6?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We have a first. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Ms. Henderson. Are there any other motions, questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none, please cast your vote. Motion carries 7-0. It's now 7:46. Public hearing for case S-26-024 is now open. Ms. Smith.
Lee Duquette, and on behalf of Harmony Towers and as a designated agent for Patricia Osborne, is requesting a special use permit for a public utility telecommunications tower in accordance with Section 35-223 of the Pittsylvania County Zoning Ordinance for property located on Kerr Lane in the Westover Election District. Staff recommends approval with conditions as outlined in the staff summary. And the staff summary and the application are included in your board packet. And Lee Duquette is here today.
All right. Anything to add to what's been submitted, sir? Any questions? Seeing none, is anyone signed up to speak to this case?
No, sir.
Is there anyone here who would like to speak to this case? Seeing no one, it's now 7:48. Public hearing for case S-26-024 is now closed. I will make a motion that we recommend the special use permit to the Board of Zoning Appeals with staff conditions. Do I have a second?
A second.
Thank you. Are there any other motions, comments, concerns, questions? Seeing none, please cast your vote. Motion carries 7-0. It's now 7:48. Public hearing for case S-26-025 is now open. Ms. Smith.
Eric and Desiree Schaefer, on behalf of Mountain Road Rentals LLC and as designated agent for Evangel Assembly of God, is requesting a special use permit for a community center in accordance with Pittsylvania County Zoning Ordinance 35-223 for property located on Cedar Road in the Dan River Election District. The application packet and staff summary are included in your agenda, and staff recommends approval with conditions as outlined in the staff summary.
Are the Schaefers here? Anything you'd like to add to what you've submitted? Yes, ma'am. Pull pull the mic down and state your name for the record.
My name is Desiree Schaefer. I just wanted to give a little bit more explanation. I'm the president of the Danville Symphony Orchestra, and I'm also a playing musician with the organization. We are getting ready to start our 35th season. And anyways, we're a nonprofit group made up mostly of volunteers, and we give free concerts to the community. So our challenge right now, as many arts organizations face challenges, is that our rent has doubled, and if we stay in the same location, next year it will triple from the original rate, and we're not going to be able to afford that on our budget. So we've been looking for a place to rent, haven't had much luck. So my husband and I thought we might look for something to purchase and then rent it to the orchestra. So we found this lovely little church in Ringgold that would just suit our needs perfectly. Has plenty of room for rehearsal space and storage space, nice big parking lot, but currently it's zoned R1. We would not be making any changes to the property, the exterior or the surrounding area. We have about 45 to 50 musicians that come for rehearsal. We rehearse once a week usually, and we are done by 9:30. We play beautiful classical and pops music, and it's not amplified, so it's not projected out. So I think compared to the church that was there previously, they had 300 people that attended each week and 2 services, and they probably had amplification for their praise team, I would imagine. But we would be, I feel like we would be good neighbors to the surrounding houses. So the reason I wanted to explain, though, that we are asking for special use for a community center, although the main purpose is going to be for music rehearsals, we would like to invite the community in to sit in on rehearsals, maybe have recitals or small chamber group performances, educational programs for the kids, possibly even rent out the facilities to the community for parties or reunions or things like that as well, just a possibility. So I feel like we're a unique organization with unique needs. The church is a unique space, and it just is a really good fit for us, so that I just hope that you all would consider recommending us for a special use for a community center.
Does anyone have any questions for him? Thank you. Has anyone signed up to speak to this case?
No, sir.
Is there anyone here who would like to speak to this case? Seeing none, it is now 7:52. Public hearing for case S-26-025 is now closed. Mr. Barbs.
Mr. Chairman, in case S-26, hold on, let me get the right one. Case S-26-025, I would recommend that we do the special permit under the accordance of the Pittsylvania County Code.
With conditions by staff?
Yes, sir. It's by
All right, we have a first. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you, Mr. Oakes. Are there any motions, questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none, please cast your vote. Motion carries 7-0. It's now 7:53. Case V-26-006 is now open. Ms. Smith.
5 Stars LLC is requesting a variance of 30 feet from the required rear setback, resulting in a 20-foot rear setback for property located on U.S. Highway 29 in the Callens-Gretna election district. The application packet and the staff summary are included in your agenda packet, and a representative from 5 Stars LLC is here if you have any questions or if they want to make any presentations.
Would you like to step forward? State your name.
Teju Patadia. Teju Patadia.
Okay. Anything you'd like to add to what was in the packet?
No, sir.
All right. The only thing I would mention, and it's not necessarily against you, but it's for anyone in the county, don't start a project until you check to make sure you're cleared with any of the variances or codes you need updated or used. I understand you're working very well with staff right now on another project, and I applaud you for that. But again, starting the project before the approval was the cart before the horse, so to speak.
Absolutely learned it the hard way, but I appreciate you guys being accommodating for that.
And I agree, your variance, I'll be voting to approve it. You've got no space. Based on your lot size, you've got no space. You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
So if there's anyone else have any questions? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Does anyone sign up to speak to this case?
No, sir.
Is there anyone here who would like to speak to this case? Seeing none, 7:55, public hearing for case V-26-006 is now closed. Ms. Meese.
Mr. Chairman, in case V-26-006, I make a recommendation to the BZA that the 5 Stars LCC variance of 30 feet from the required rear setback in accordance with our Pennsylvania County Code be honored.
We have a first. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Ferris. Are there any other motions, questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none, please cast your vote. Motion carries 7-0. That concludes our current monthly cases. We will now move to item number 10 with the public hearing for Pennsylvania County Code, Chapter 35, zoning ordinance amendments. Ms. Smith, 7:56.
Thank you. As a reminder, this is a proposed amendment to the zoning ordinance to bring the zoning ordinance into compliance with multiple pieces of legislation that were passed during this past General Assembly. What is before you, you've seen multiple times now, with one exception. At the June work session, Commissioner or Supervisor Bowman requested that the residential plan development zoning district include in some language to protect against property developers and property owners not understanding the potential for development within that community. And so there is now a proposed requirement to add deed restrictions to be submitted with any rezoning application to the residential plan development zoning district. That deed restriction submittal does not say that they can't do manufactured homes or they can't do site-built homes or that they can't have some combination. Just requires a little more thought by the developer into what the overall development and character of that neighborhood is going to be.
All right. We've all had an opportunity to read the code sections that were sent out. Does anyone have any questions or comments about this particular section? Has anyone signed up to speak to this?
No, sir.
Public hearing for Pennsylvania County Chapter 35 zoning ordinance amendments. Public hearing is now closed. I take it we need to make a motion to approve the redlined edition.
It would be a motion to recommend approval to the Board of Supervisors,
Gotcha.
but yes.
All right. I will make said motion that we recommend the red line addition we've received with the addition from Mr. Bowman included to the Board of Supervisors for approval. Is there a second?
A second.
Thank you, Ms. Meese. Are there any other motions, comments, concerns, or questions? Seeing none, please cast your vote. Motion passes 7-0. It is now 7:59, public hearing for Pennsylvania County Comprehensive Plan Amendment, Utility Scale Solar Facility, Chapter 8, Land Use and Growth Management. write-up is now open. Ms. Smith?
This is a companion item to the zoning ordinance amendment to be in compliance with state legislation. This would add a section to Chapter 8, the Land Use and Growth Management chapter of the Pennsylvania County Comprehensive Plan. The added section is utility scale solar facility siting policies, and it is because we can't have that in the zoning ordinance anymore, and there's still a desire to have some guidelines for any future solar facilities.
Okay. Anyone have any questions for Ms. Smith? Has anyone signed up to speak to this case?
No, sir.
All right. It's now 8 o'clock, public hearing for Pennsylvania County Comprehensive Plan Amendment, Utility Scale Solar Facility, Chapter 8, Land Use and Growth Management. It's now closed. I will make a motion that we recommend approval of the changes to this code to the Board of Supervisors. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any other motions, questions, or comments? Seeing none, please cast your vote. Motion passes 7-0. It's now 8:01. The public hearing to reopen case S-26-020 is now open. Ms. Smith.
George Ingram, on behalf of Pine Lane ATV Trails, is requesting a special use permit to operate a public recreational facility consisting of ATV trails, primitive camping, and temporary event uses in accordance with Pennsylvania County Code Section 35-179 and 35-366.
Mr. Ingram. Anything you'd like to add? Okay. Anyone have any questions for Mr. Ingram? Thank you. Could we have the first person sign up for this case?
Yes, sir. Mr. Luis A. Abreu is here to represent a group of residents in the area.
Mr. Abreu.
He'll receive 10 minutes, Mr. Chairman.
Good evening. I appreciate the opportunity to speak on behalf of a group of concerns. Can you hear me?
No. Adjust the mic so we...
Is this better?
Better.
Thank you. Good evening again. Thank you for the opportunity to speak on behalf of many, many, many concerned citizens. I think right before we started, we also delivered two petitions that were circulated in the community voicing objection to the grant of the special use permit. Is it still not?
Yeah, just
I'll
try not to turn your head a whole lot.
Okay, I'll try and look straighter ahead and project. There are many, many, many reasons for the objection to this project. On Friday, I submitted a letter where I attempted to address many, many of the concerns that are being shared. The concerns vary from trespassing, shooting, alcohol use, illegal intoxicants use, and trampling of property. I think you have previously heard that locks have been cut for people to go onto adjoining properties. I think that you've heard from before that one of the adjoining landowners testified that when he spoke with Mr. Ingram, and I think there's two, I'm not sure which one it was that he spoke with, the response to the trespassing and the violations of clearly applicable and existing rules was, I can't control what happens outside of my property. Well, the issue is he can't control what's happening inside his property either. I think that y'all are aware that two prior cease and desist letters were sent by the commission concerning the operation of this business. The first was in February of 2023. The The second was in December of 2025. There's also been a criminal prosecution begun because after the second cease and desist order, the business continued, or the ATVs continued running and creating problems, and criminal prosecution had to begin before an application was submitted to change or get the special use permit. I think that's very guiding or informative, or something that you need to keep in mind in making your decisions and making your recommendations, is what's the story or the history of this. It's been non-compliance, it's been ignoring the laws, it's been ignoring the processes established to promote peace, development, prosperity in Pittsylvania County. It's to promote compliance with the noise ordinance, which is being violated on a daily basis out there when this operation is going on. I think under the noise ordinance, Pittsylvania County has pledged to do everything it's possible that it can in order to promote peace, promote quiet, promote stability in our areas. This has been a violation. I have submitted to you all some graphs and pictures that illustrate what has been happening and the noise levels. I think that under the noise ordinance, it's recommended that 57 decibels is what's recommended during the day, and at night it reduces to 55 or 52. One ATV, according to the information I've provided to you and have researched, will run at about approximately 88 decibels. Multiply that by the numbers that are projected to be here. I don't have a statistic for you as to how many ATV vehicles operate at any given time, but there are many. I have many witnesses here, or folks that I'm representing and are appearing before you today, to please ask for your help first and foremost in enforcing what the law is, enforcing what the ordinances are, because they have been, from our position, intentionally and repeatedly violated. And it's only been as a result of a criminal violation that's been prosecuted and has been postponed until we see what happens through this process. We don't know what the result is going to be. But if it's permitted, the possibility of future violations is clear, given the past history. I think earlier I heard somebody say, before you start the project, you need to get approvals. Well, that is important. In looking at the staff reports, many issues are raised, whether it's VDOT compliance, whether it's environmental concerns, whether it's emergency vehicles and emergency access being done, whether it's simply inspecting vehicles coming in to see if there are compliance. This is at the door. I think that it's been testified to before, or spoken before, that oftentimes there's only a lockbox at this place, and if you put in 20 bucks or whatever the amount is, you go in. There's nobody to monitor, no one to inspect, no one to determine if proper safety equipment is being used. And we're talking about a very pleasurable experience, riding an ATV through the countryside. No one objects to that. But when you're doing it as a business, when you're seeking to market it and you're seeking to bring many people onto your property and not control them, not supervise them, not monitor them, and doing harm and damage to the neighbors is not appropriate. We submit that in the application that's been submitted, the Planning Commission has made many, many, many good recommendations, but there are no proffers to go along and actually implement them. There are no, there's only a conceptual drawing that's been submitted to the commission and will be submitted to the board, but there's no actual site plan where they will actually lay out what they're going to do. And until you see that, again, starting a project without seeing if you're in compliance, you don't know. But you will, if you give the special use permit, you will be giving a property right, and then all sorts of litigation or ambiguity can result if you don't do it correctly to begin with. If you don't do it with a bona fide and good faith belief that the applicant is going to comply with their obligations and be a good neighbor. We've heard other presentations where people are getting permission and they're being good neighbors, that they're complying before they seek the special use permit. That is not happening here. Build it and they will come. Well, they might come, but they're not going to have the regulations in place. For example, there's been a lot of talk about reorienting the trails so they get further away from the boundaries. Well, there's no specific proffer. I think I submitted earlier today where the Red Oak business was permitted many, many years ago. There's a 300-foot buffer zone that was required as a condition of that permit being granted, but there's no proffer relating to that. There's no proffer as to what buffering is going to be put, whether it's going to be gates, whether it's going to be fences, whether it's going to be vegetation. It's just more of a promise, I'll do right, but without any specificity. And without specificity, whether in our legislation, whether in a special use permit, there's too many problems that can arise, and we need to see that specificity first, not later. As far as the noise issues, again, we submitted materials to y'all. 30 seconds remaining? Boy, 10 minutes goes fast, doesn't it? I've addressed the majority of the issues. I'll be glad to answer any questions, but I hope that you do not grant this. And if you do grant it, you make all the recommendations applicable and binding before this goes further. Thank you.
Thank you.
Was that
Any
3
questions from
minutes
Mr.
or 10
Brewer?
minutes?
I have a question.
Mr. Shelby.
Mr. Abreu, thank you for your presentation. You stated that there was a criminal prosecution. Can you explain a little bit more about what the criminal prosecution was for?
For violation of the cease and desist order. I just found out about this a few minutes before this meeting began.
Okay.
Specifically, if I understand it, cease and desist order was issued in December for, again, continued violations by this person. They didn't abide by it for 3 months, January, February, and March. They were continuing to violate the cease and desist order, and I think that it had to be enforced as a result of a criminal prosecution. That's not a good posture to be in as you're coming to get permission and expand what you're doing.
Okay. With respect to the neighboring properties, has anyone filed any civil actions or have there been any criminal prosecutions based
that has been discussed. I'm not aware of a nuisance action being filed yet, but this is an attractive nuisance when you're inviting the public and you know that they're violating the boundaries and drinking, shooting. I've got somebody here that actually had a shot rang out, and there's dead animals on his property from activities related to this park.
Well, I understand that, and sorry if that may be the case. I'm wondering if that what you're alleging has happened. Has there been any criminal prosecution or civil lawsuits in the last 3 years that have been instituted based on these actions in the past?
I just got into this last week, so I'm learning things. Again, I learned things today. I am aware today of 2 cease and desist orders. I am aware today of a criminal prosecution related to this activity, and the criminal prosecution is what preceded the application for the special use permit. This is not being advanced, we submit in good faith. This is being advanced in order to try and cover up a criminal prosecution and save yourself.
I understand. Thank you.
Anyone else?
I got one question,
Mr. Evans.
Mr. Abreu. When a rider is paying to ride on Mr. Ingram's property and he trespasses onto the neighbor's property, doesn't liability transfer to the property he's riding on? Say if he got hurt riding on property he's trespassing on?
Yes, sir. There's a bunch of different rules that apply to this, and I haven't researched it, but if you're an invitee to a property, which the people that are using this park are invitees, they've been asked to come on there, there's higher liability to them and exposure to the owner. As far as the adjoining property owner, if I'm trespassing on your property, I don't have the same kind of protections that if I'm somebody that you've invited. But at the same time, if there's anything in your property that there's a ditch where there's somebody will fall into or the vehicle will fall into and be damaged, there's exposure. And with that, you're increasing the exposure of everybody around there. You haven't even seen an insurance policy. I thought that there was one submitted on behalf of the applicant, but no, I found out today that there's no insurance policy that's been shown that goes to the operation of this business. Now, I'm not an insurer, and I believe that if you pay enough money, you might get insurance for almost anything. But when you're allowing people to ride around your property, encouraging them or allowing them to go onto your neighbor's property, you're going to have liability. And you add liquor, you add drugs, you add guns to the activity, it gets even worse. Now, I haven't seen a policy, and if there's a policy, one, there needs to be in a sufficient amount, because an accident with an ATV can be catastrophic. Whether you have brain injuries, whether you have broken arms, legs, maimed. One of the things that I think that the Planning Commission, the staff recommended was that there needs to be actual guidance as to which ways you're supposed to be driving on this property. There's not sufficient safeguards in place yet. Again, I think the overall response is, well, we'll take care of that later, but give me the permit first. That's not the way this is supposed to go. And we hope that you will deny this to the extent that the applicant is here, is listening. I hope that they're taking this to heart, and I hope that they'll come up with proffers that actually commit them to do things. Another simple thing is having a guard, having people on the property. One, you got to inspect the vehicles coming in, because part of the comments are, well, you can't have souped up vehicles coming in that have even more noise to it. You need to have documentation of who it is that's coming onto your property. There needs to be rules that are handed out to folks so that they'll know what the rules are supposed to be, and that should be handled before you come on. Hey, you need to sign this, you need to abide by the rules, and we need to have a record of what your vehicle is, and we need to have a record of what you're going to be doing, and inspection to see if alcohol is being brought. Alcohol is legal. Heck, marijuana is legal now, and all that stuff. But you can't mix the two, and people are already mixing all those things on this activity. And the only reason we submit that these people are here asking for the permit because they're finally being held accountable through first a criminal prosecution, and then separate litigation may follow.
I have a question.
Anyone else?
I've got a question.
Okay.
I had a brief opportunity to look over the letter that was presented to the board, and a few things that did stand out to me. And I'm really green when it comes to the ATV community. I appreciate the sport because I'm a country girl, but something that was apparent to us in the last meeting was that the community seems to be thriving community.
Thriving?
The ATV community seems to be a thriving community. The community that the facility is set in has had some issues, but to echo what Mr. Shelton said, it did not seem that there has been a lot of litigation presented. That one case has happened, but I'm curious. You said you did come into this a week or so ago? You've just been involved in this?
I just found out about the criminal prosecution today. I just got brought into this case last week. And so I can't say that I've been able to do an exhaustive research, but I do know that there's been many, many complaints, both to the sheriff's office, to Mike Taylor, to officers. For example, I have folks that are going to say, hey, these vehicles are crossing 360. There's regulations or recommendations made to try and prohibit that. And VDOT compliance, we don't even know what VDOT's going to say for these folks. And they want a special use permit before they even find out all the things that they're going to have to do. And that mucks things up. But there have been repeated complaints. I have somebody that I'm here on behalf who, after the cease and desist order that was issued in December of 2025, in February, I think the date was February 13, 11, complained again. And that, I think, has led to it. Now, could something else have been done years ago? Yeah. Could litigation have happened before? Yeah. Is litigation in the offing? You're darn tootin', because they're doing this. They're being prosecuted for not being good stewards of this property, not being compliant with law. And you can imagine that this thing is only going to get bigger.
So my concern is this, and I'm a big land rights defendant, as most people know in my time on this board. The posture of your letter, to me, seems to offer a lot of hypotheticals, and I'm just going to read one.
Hypothetical?
Yes. And I'm going to read this.
Sure.
This can be entered into the record. Special events accompanied by food would most likely introduce alcohol and intoxicating substances to the event. Bad judgment and possibly bad behavior would be encouraged. Consideration should also be given to any special events being limited to 3 during the summer months when there is peak foliage on the trees. My biggest concern here is, with all due respect, you just came into this, the knowledge of what's going on. Obviously, people have retained you for your opinion and your help because it was stated in this letter. And to continue to, in my opinion, disparage the business with hypotheticals and to reiterate multiple times the prosecution or the conviction that has happened. I'm wondering if you grasp the basis of how that originated. I mean, I keep hearing the cease and desist, but what we are looking at is something really specific and trying to weigh that against their rights, the concerns of the landowners, against the comprehensive plan. So we're trying to balance all of that. So I'm just really concerned of the posture of the letter, and it seems to make a lot of assumptions about them. So if you can speak to that,
I will. I may have only come to the party last week, but I've been sure as heck working to try and get knowledge each day. Even today, while I'm here, I'm trying to get further knowledge as to what's happening. The people that I represent have been affected by this for a long time. They came in and asked me to get involved in this, and I can't explain why litigation didn't happen 3 years ago. I don't know why it didn't happen 2 years ago, but what I put down in that letter is not speculation, it's not make-believe, it's real. If you're applying for a special use permit, I think that the noise ordinances requires that the sheriff, Sheriff Taylor, do a special investigation to try and determine before that special use permit, where there's going to be food, vendors, and so on, can be done so safely. None of that is happening here. I didn't see anything as far as the decibels being given in the reports and the sound pollution that's going to result from this. But these people are here now. They need your help now. This is before you now, and this is going to affect the community. Again, they don't wish to fuss with anybody. They don't wish to be anything other than good neighbors, but this is being thrust upon them, and none of the stuff that I put in there is make-believe. It comes from talking with them. It comes from doing research on this. It comes from looking at reports. And one of the things that I didn't highlight earlier is there is a report, a study of the effect of an ATV park on adjoining landowners' values. It is a 15% negative impact. It's my understanding that at the July hearing, Dr. Milam appeared before you, and he said that he had to sell his tree park or tree farm at a loss because of the ATV activity. And he came before you, he shared that person. I wasn't here. Maybe your minutes reflect it, because I didn't see the minutes, and I know you've approved them. But I know them. That Dr. Milam is a neighbor, lives down the street. I've talked to his wife. I believe absolutely that he suffered a loss, and I believe that this will have negative economic impact on that area. I hope I've answered your question. I don't want to be a politician that you answer something else as opposed to answering your question, but none of that is made up. All of that is made, is a reflection of the comments that I've gotten from my clients.
So, forgive me for belaboring this point. So it's your assertion that what we're reading here, because it's reading as facts, but you're saying that these are reports that have come to you from concerned citizens, neighbors, and you're just putting these all in a letter. But the language that says, that sticks out to me again, possibly special events accompanied by food would most likely introduce alcohol and intoxicating substances to the event. Bad judgment and possibly bad behavior would be encouraged. That's really broad.
Bad behavior is already rampant in this park. Trespassing is rampant. Damage to adjoining property has happened. Cut locks have already happened. As far as drinking, that has already happened. As far as shooting, that has already happened. And those things, unless you are there and you have sufficient staff, not only to monitor folks coming onto the property, but also monitor their activities. You know, hey, here's a couple hundred acres. You come in, give me 20 bucks, you do whatever you want to, and I accept no responsibility, not even to you or to my adjoining neighbors. Well, the adjoining neighbors are being definitely negatively impacted. They're not proffering any solutions other than, I submit, to the legal prosecution for violation of a cease and desist order. And this is not the first cease and desist order. And I think that that history is very relevant to your consideration and your decision today.
Okay, so to be clear, what you and the individuals you represent are asking for, is it proffers? Because I did see some line items here that would be proposed proffers, and you said that these were already not being followed. Would that be, hey, this is what could make us all sit horses, we can agree to this? Or cease and desist, meaning close operations, we're done with it? What's the ask?
Cease and desist, as issued by the folks that represent you and work for everybody, is you're in violation. You have to stop that activity. You haven't got the right permits, and you are in violation of the law and county ordinances. Okay. From our perspective, we are seeking to stop this. Our first position is you should not grant the special use permit. You have enough history, you have enough facts to base your decision on. But if you're going to do that, I have to look at what else is possible. So I'm making comments. It would be nice to have security cameras installed throughout the place so that you can help actually monitor that from maybe a central place. You may be able to prove who it is that's going across the property lines and doing damage, who it is that's drinking, who it is that is shooting. Those are real facts. Dead animals on adjoining properties shot, we submit, from this property.
Okay, that clears it up. I'm not going to go back and forth, but that very last segment you made answered my question, which, in other words, when we were presented with this, I could not really see what's the ask here, But hey, yes, in order to get the special use permit, we have these things. This is what we need done. But it would be nice if we would look at what.
First and foremost, we ask that the special permit not be granted. Okay. But if you're going to consider it, you need to mandate compliance rather than let them, give us a special permit and then we'll put down in writing all these other things, because you don't have an ability to pass judgment over them, consider them, improve them. So I have to do both parts in order to adequately cover the issues.
Okay. You answered it adequately.
Thank you. And I appreciate the questions. I do, because it helped bring a lot more information out.
Yes, thank you.
Anyone else have a question for Mr. Brew?
I've got something I want to say. Excuse me. These are the cases that's very difficult when you become a member of the Planning Commission. First off, Mr. Ingram, this is his heart, soul, for a lifetime, I guess, for a long time. He means well. I'm sure he doesn't mean any harm to his neighbors. He works very hard. He's proud of this place. I think it has gotten out of control. It's gotten bigger and better than whenever you started in your eyes. But what concerns me is we're waiting for something to happen tragically. There are two people that I'm really concerned for, are the people that come there that get hurt, tragic death. When you've got guns, you've got drugs, you've got drinking, you've got a problem. It can only get worse. What Mr. Ingram can't control is the behavior of these people. That's when we need to make sure that these people are protected. Not only the people that are coming, using the facilities, but for Mr. Ingram himself. Because if somebody gets killed, they're going to come after you for a lawsuit.
And the statistics of deaths.
Yes.
Is tremendous. Virginia is in the middle, I think, of the 50 states as far as deaths from ATVs. Again, that's the limited research we've been able to have. But as far as all the maiming, paralyzing,
Exactly.
broken arms, broken legs, and all that kind of stuff. And yes, he has liability. There's where I'm interested in what's his insurance? What is covered? What's excluded? What has he actually disclosed to his insurer as to what the activities are? Some of the documents you have, as far as special events, he's put down in writing. He's hoping to have 1,500 people out there at one time for an event. Imagine the mayhem that can be caused, and he doesn't have the traffic even directed appropriately according to the staff to try and control these things. It's a tragedy waiting to happen. Don't know what injuries have already happened out there. I know that EMS is challenged throughout Chatham. There's a property tax increase that has been approved recently. One of the stated goals is to increase EMS funding because I think that the from dispatch to people actually showing up, it's like 40 minutes, 45 minutes. You may know these statistics better than I do, but then that's to get to the property. Where's the guy that's out on the trail and he's laying in a ditch and needs somebody right then and there? It can only get worse. Let's not let it get started. Let's put an end to it now.
That's what I'm talking about. When you mix drugs, drinking, high rate of speed, and nobody is controlling it,
yes, ma'am,
something is going to happen. And Mr. Ingram, I'm concerned for him. He would have certainly lawsuits and lose everything he had.
Yes, ma'am.
People are out to sue you for everything. And particularly if Johnny, my son, gets killed. You're right. I'm going after somebody. I'm just saying, I don't know the solution, but we got a real problem here for protection, not only of the people coming in, riding, but for Mr. Ingram and the neighbors. Now, is the sheriff's department, they probably do not have manpower to come out there and assess and sit there and listen to the noise level. Cameras might be an option, but Mr. Ingram will have to pay for security guards. That's very expensive too. And when you're talking about all night long, I've never worked third shift or even during the daytime trying to sleep. I don't think anybody in this room could tolerate that every day of your life when you can't sleep for the noise. So, that's...
Thank you, and I appreciate your comments, and they're very relevant, and those are things
I'm just concerned.
Those are things that are on my clients' hearts and minds as well.
How many, may I ask, are you representing tonight?
Tonight, I think I'm representing seven. Seven, whether it's 7 landowners, husbands and wives, I'm not counting and duplicating relating to that. But we've also submitted petitions that over this weekend, one of my clients went to the doors knocking, and we've submitted the names, addresses, and their thing. Now, one of the interesting things, some people wouldn't sign it, I'm told, because they're scared.
Yes.
They're scared that if they put their name in opposition to this, that something negative can happen. Now, that I can't quantify. Can I understand it? Sure. Whether it's real, I can't quantify.
So these petitions were issued for the Pine Lane ATV Park nuisance issues, 19 on one sheet. and 6 on the second page.
I thought there were more than that.
This is what I'm seeing.
Okay.
19.
And I thank you for counting. And I apologize
6.
for not having counted myself. Again, I came into those this afternoon, and I brought them here.
That's all I have.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman.
Anyone else? Thank you, Mr. Brew.
Thank you.
Next.
That's all, Mr. Chairman.
Oh, okay. A little surprising. Mr. Ingram, would you like to respond?
What this gentleman just previously before me got up and said is all news to me. I was up under interpretation with Ms. Smith's guidance that we had produced everything to come up here tonight with, and her exact words, we're good to go for tonight's meeting. All this is news to me. As far as the cease and assist, I only know of one, and that is the one back in December. We went and had a face-to-face meeting with Mr. Arnold over there in his office. Nothing was never said. You've got to stop your operation. Those words were never spoken. We got what the United States Postal Service calls a registered letter in the mailbox. Well, my problem with that was, and I brought it to Mr. Arnold's attention, it's supposed to be a light green colored card that's torn off the envelope and left in your mailbox. It tells you what post office to go to and their hours of operation. Only thing we got was the envelope. We never signed, no one ever signed for this envelope. But yet still we went over there. And we do had a court case that was brought up, and it ends in this coming October, as long as we don't violate the cease and assist order. Well, since the 1st of March 2026, we have been closed. The gates have been locked. We do not have any writing other than my father, myself, or my daughter, personal, family, no open for business, no collecting any money. We have complied to the best of our ability since the 1st of March. That's all I have to say.
All right. Anyone have any questions for Mr. Ingram? Thank you. Good night. Is there anyone else here who would like to speak to this case? Seeing none, Chair requests a 5-minute recess so I can check with staff and legal counsel for a determination before we open the floor for motions. Is that allowable?
That's fine.
All right. 5-minute recess. It's 8:50. Planning Commission is back in session. Were there anyone else who wanted to speak to this case before I close it? It's 8:50.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
we have one individual that raised their hand.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
Hi, I'm Tabitha Ingram, George's daughter and David's granddaughter. On the behalf of Dad and Papa, we have stated some rules, and y'all have seen it in y'all's packets. I just wanted to bring it attention to Mr., I don't remember his name, I'm sorry, I'm not good with names. When these riders come into our ATV park, we have a paper that they sign stating if anything that may happen, they will not sue us or anything like that. They have to put their name, their legal name on it, the date they signed it, and everything. Now, we've came up with these rules. These rules are, number one, that they have to follow the rules and regulations that have been stated. If anything they don't follow, they have to be asked to leave. From the noise ordinance, we've put it in there that they must apply with Pennsylvania County noise ordinance. Helmets must be required. Any exhaust systems that have been modified, they can't have them there. We literally have put these in all the rules: no alcohol, no weapons, no drugs, anything like that, to what he has said. We have people at the gate, we look at these rides, but we can't physically and legally search somebody's vehicle. We're not cops, we cannot do that. That's the only thing I have to say on that, and thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Mr. Abreu.
Real briefly, you heard today from Mr. Ingram that he wasn't aware of the first cease and desist order that was issued in February of 2023. I confirmed with Kelly, and that was attached to my letter that I sent, but unfortunately she didn't attach it. Second, you just heard somebody say, we tell them that they have to comply with the noise ordinance, when clearly it's being violated by each vehicle based on the sounds that they're not doing anything to actually enforcing. They're trying to cover themselves with something that maybe somebody else, a lawyer, can tell you may not stand up in court if you're not supervising and monitoring. And I can make more comments and be glad to answer more questions, but I wanted to make it limited.
I have one, Mr. Chairman, just curious. Mr. Ingram's daughter said they have someone sign that if they get hurt, the Ingrams would not be responsible. Do they have to have that notarized, or does that stand in court, or is that legal?
First of all, I haven't seen it, so I can't comment on it specifically. Second, that's something that you see in the law all the time, where somebody says, before you get on here, you have to say you don't have heart conditions, you don't have anything. But if you don't do anything, and you know that the things are being violated, and you're not actually enforcing it, i.e. the noise contamination, the guns, the alcohol, and so on, it's not going to be worth a whole lot on that piece of paper, is my humble individual opinion. I'm not giving you a legal opinion.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, anyone else? It is now 8:54, and the rehearing of case S-26-020 is now closed. Mr. Shelton.
Mr. Chairman, I want to point out that appreciate Mr. Abreu's presentation. However, I do want to point out to this board that we are not the police of liability on someone's private property. This body, and specifically the BZA, who we will make recommendations to, can put reasonable contingencies, reasonable restrictions, and reasonable requirements so long as they have a nexus to the activity that is taking progress or taking part on that property. It seems to me, in my review of the file, that staff has made those recommendations, and that those are, in my opinion, reasonable and connected to the activities and reasonably protect the citizens of Pittsylvania County insofar that we can do so. The liability waivers and all that, we are a government body. We cannot be involved in that, in my opinion, as a member of this board. I would suggest, again, that the proffers that have been made, I'll agree with Mr. Abreu, that probably can be a little more detailed in what's going to happen. But that's what we can require of them. I would suggest that what staff has recommended is appropriate. Their cease and desist was issued. They have stopped, is what I understand, since the cease and desist, and now they are going through the process that is required to obtain a special use permit. To Mr. Abreu's point, we have to mandate them to stop this. Every law is a mandate. Every law. You can't run a red light. You're mandated not to do so. That doesn't mean, and then enforcement is a back-end level. But we have to pass what we believe will protect them, and I believe that what's in the staff recommendations is appropriate. So with that, I will recommend approval of case S-26-20, subject to the conditions of staff for G-pins, the G-pins listed in the packet.
The chair has first. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Are there any other motions, questions, comments, concerns? Seeing none, please cast your vote. Motion passes 5-2. Is there any new business?
There is not.
Then at 8:57, we are adjourned.
All right, let's go.